Alright, today I have a presentation for you on Tesla and Nio. I'm just going to give you some dialogue in which I will analyze both the companies, how far they've come, and how much farther they have to go. I may throw in some price targets at the end, but this is more a general sentiment video about if Tesla and Nio are really going to be self-fulfilling prophecies at this point. So I'll start with Tesla. I've been investing since 2017 and following them for nearly every day since. And why am I still interested in Tesla? Everyone says they've gotten so big, and they have, but do they have more room to run? And I'd say yes, and I'd ask who you are listening to if you are hearing that Tesla has no more room to run, because I would argue Tesla is one of the best growth companies in which to invest, and they might even be the safest at the same time. And that is because of their high-level focus on sustainability and better and more innovative products than anyone else. Sure, they've got the electric vehicles, but more importantly, all those electric vehicles are Trojan horses for the autonomous fleet technology that will really take over the roads once Tesla is able to solve that. They're pumping out as many cars as they can, 500,000 cars this year. They may be closer to 1 million cars next year. Just think about that growth, and every single one of those cars will be capable of full autonomy once Tesla solves it, which should be no more than a few years from now. Sure, there will be tons of edge cases, but I think Tesla will be on the path to regulatory acceptance within 2 to 3 years. And then we've got the energy storage, generation, and consumption. Their energy business, solar, power packs, power walls, the commercial side of it, the solar roofs, the solar regular panels, and I really think that business is going to explode over the next few years. I think you'll see solar companies kind of take off in the way that electric car companies have over this past year. And I'll throw out a stock pick for you. I like Solar Edge. I haven't looked into them too much and I'm not invested in them, but I think they do look like a good solar play. Alright, moving on for Tesla, and this is really what makes Tesla special, especially as a large company now that they're inducted into the S&P 500, and it's really about Elon, and he faced a troubled upbringing, and he has this vision for himself, for the company, and for the future of the world. And really, Tesla's success is contagious. The more they succeed in any of their product platforms, the more they will continue to dominate in their business strategies. Because first principles come first. If something is possible, they will do it. If it is against the laws of physics, Elon will consider another way. But they never stop improving. They don't have model years. I think most of us know this. Every single time they can get an improvement done, they put it in the car and they start rolling them off the line. This is what I like to call Tesla's unique potential. And it's why there's nearly endless upside for this company. And it's because there are many startups in one. Let me go ahead and list a few. They've got their cars, they've got their solar, they've got the batteries, they've got the autonomous vehicles, they've got the software that goes into the cars, the solar, and of course the neural engine and all of that. They're making the chips for the autonomous. See, there's so many things I can just list off, and there's so many startups. There are probably a dozen in all that go into this company that makes them so valuable. And if you think about it, with Tesla being at, $500 billion company, it's really only about maybe 20% of all of those core businesses being recognized in the value of the company. That's why I think Tesla can be a multi-trillion-dollar company. Their many core businesses have yet to be recognized in the full value that they will be. And they shouldn't be recognized yet because they haven't gotten there. But I think them selling their cars millions of times in a year will really catapult their valuation. Autonomy, the flip of the switch there, although Elon says it's a flip of a switch, I think it's going to be more of a transition over a year or so. We'll probably know how soon it'll be out by the end of this year, because we'll know if the public is able to get the full self-driving beta that has been in early test release. We'll know that very shortly. And yeah, all of those startups are attacking trillions in value. You think of the car industry or just the transportation industry in general, and autonomizing that, how much value that creates. And solar and batteries, just those together, if everything goes sustainable, there is so much potential, and we need everything to go sustainable. They're just better products, and it's better for the world. I think eventually everything is going to be sustainable. We're not going to have any more gas cars on the road, and most energy generation will come from solar and wind. So right now I'm focused on Tesla. You could probably get ahead by looking at solar and wind companies. Drop some of those in the comments if you know any good ones. And yeah, I think Elon's doing a great job so far. He's working SpaceX. He's got the Boring Company, OpenAI, Neuralink. I mean, so much this guy's doing. So when I put this together, I said a price target of $500 by the end of the year. That was a few months ago. And yeah, we're pretty much spot on with that. I'm thinking 1 trillion in 2022, 2 trillion 2025, and 4 trillion by 2030. Could be more than that, could be less than that. I'm expecting to be way off on these targets, but I'm putting them out there. Of course, if anything goes wrong at all with Tesla's execution, these numbers will be far shorter. But I think Tesla is pretty much a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. So I'm looking for long-term gains in Tesla, and even looking beyond the decade, I think they'll be pretty much the leading company and among the most valuable, if not the most valuable, producing millions of units of everything they have, and they'll be able to release more products and services. They'll kind of turn into almost an Amazon type company, even though they might be larger than Amazon at that point, where they're able to pretty much extend into all these verticals and horizontals too, of all these different industries. Alright, so now that I've gotten to that, I want to kind of talk about Nio. And I followed the company, and I did some research, I watched some videos and stuff like that, but the thing is, I like to invest in the companies that are actually doing the work. And from the beginning, we've heard of Nio as the Tesla of China, or the Tesla killer of China, or any kind of version of that. And that's not really what excites me. I want a company that's going to do the next big thing. Tesla is that company. They're still at the beginning of their growth story. So when I heard of Nio, I was like, all right, are they really for real? And it turns out they are. Their stock has gone so much higher in the last year, and again, it's about them being recognized as the Tesla of China, and it's kind of disappointing to see a lot of their value come from that, but then again, they are really executing, and we're going to go through some charts on that. They're even working with Mobileye, which is an Intel company that used to work with Tesla, but now Tesla has their own technology for that. So let's dive into the charts. This is hypercharts for Tesla and Nio. I want to compare both of them. And again, what is this comparison about? It's really about seeing how are their core businesses, both of these companies' core businesses, going to improve in the future? Will they be around in 10 years? And I think that answer is resoundingly yes. We look at the revenue, Tesla is just blowing Nio away, as they should be. Tesla pulling in $8.77 billion in Q3, Nio pulling in $666 million. Keep in mind, Nio is not yet profitable. Tesla has turned that corner, so I think that is a reason for Tesla to be much higher valued than Nio. I don't even think Nio should be considered when you're talking about Tesla's valuation. But just to look at it, gross profit of $2 billion, and Nio only pulling in $86 million. So they're really pumping out cash, and they're on the way up. And Nio, it's not so certain that they are in that same kind of trend. They've turned a little positive here. They really need to prove to investors that they will be able to turn profitable, and I feel like too much of that is factored into the stock. So let's keep going. Operating expenses, Tesla is really pretty steady on this. Actually, Nio getting a little high there. I'm totally fine with having a company that spends a lot as long as it's pretty much under control and you can see it coming if they tell you that they will be spending a lot. Like Nio's spending quite a lot compared to Tesla, because if you just look at how much Tesla's pumping out, we just looked at the revenue segment, and then they're so much higher in terms of expenses just comparatively. So I'm kind of wondering why they need to be spending so much to be getting not so great returns on their own investment like Tesla has. Maybe that's just an indication of how strong of a business Tesla is, but I'm kind of concerned for Nio on the spending part of it. Operating income, here we go. Tesla really coming out. We saw this, and this was the real knock against the Tesla story, is that Tesla couldn't make money. And it turns out it was because they were setting up for quarters like these, where they're really investing, so that they could turn profitable with their product lines, the 3, the Y, the S and the X even, and then their solar stuff. We got the Cybertruck coming, and everything great like that. Nio just really hasn't turned the corner yet, despite having billions upon billions, tens of $billions in valuation, and they just haven't been able to turn the corner like Tesla has. I think that's a testament to the strength of the Tesla business and really the brilliance of Tesla's execution and their C-suite executives. So moving on to the net income, you'll see Tesla really just pulling away here, a little bit of a staircase pattern, and I would like to see that really continue. Nio, again, down here with Tesla spending tons, or actually losing tons, I should say, and they're kind of working their way back up, but really, again, they need to show profitability. This is looking good for Tesla. Nio is really making Tesla look like they have a really tight margin, which they do. Tesla is basically proven at this point. They just need to execute. And you look at Nio, sure, they had, I'm not sure what's going on in 2018 Q2, but they've been a little choppy again, but they are working their ways up. Or 13% gross margin. What's Tesla's? Let's take a look at Tesla's. It should be, 23.5. So there's not even really a comparison here. The whole reason I'm doing this comparison is to say, yes, I think both these companies will be around in the future. They will be bigger than they are now. But I think Tesla, this is really just demonstrating how no one has really come close to Tesla at all. Even the company that has gone 20 to 30x in the past year cannot hold a candle to Tesla. And we'll look again, operating margins, same kind of story. Tesla really burning through cash, burning through money. And we've talked about this before on this channel. And Nio, even below that, just really struggling. And then Tesla has turned, positive with their operating margin. Nio, are they still negative? Let's take a look. Nio is still negative on their operating margin. They are not yet profitable, a big problem. Profit margin, same kind of story. I'm not going to go through that again, but Tesla really pulling away. It may not look like a big difference, but 3.77, negative 26, just get out of here. So Nio may be growing at a higher revenue rate, but that's because Tesla's revenue rate is sustainable, and that means they'll be able to keep it going. 39% and Nio is 159%. If Nio could continue to keep that revenue rate, I think they would be able to sustain their valuation, but that is just not possible. You look at the operating expenses year over year, it looks like Tesla is really spending a lot, but it's because they're setting up for so much growth. You'll see that Tesla has just taken off in market cap, and that's because of all these years of silent work and execution, keeping their heads down, and finally it's getting recognized as they are what is now, I believe, the 10th most valuable company in the world. So Nio used to be $18 billion. This is not yet updated, but you'll see a lot of that from here, from the bottom to here, is really just because Tesla has exploded. Sure, Nio is executing in their own right. I have to wonder why even institutional investors believe Nio is the next Tesla, when Tesla is the next Tesla. Tesla is the only Tesla we get, and institutional investors are even hyping Nio up even more than it should be. Nio has really increased their outstanding share count. Tesla has gradually over time, but that's kind of just a necessary evil. You see there are 700 million there, now they're 900 million or so. I believe that's just fine. They've kept the core business so strong, 2016 to 2020. I mean, you look at what they've done over that time, that is totally justifiable. Nio, I'm not sure what they have done. I think they did a capital raise of some kind, but they need to show something. If they're really going to raise their share count by that much, they really need to show us what they can do. Revenue multiple, Tesla has a much higher revenue multiple, and Nio is just all over the place. I get it. Nio is like really in the startup phase at this point, but they need to tell a better story for their company before I would really trust them with my money. Gross profit multiple, again, Tesla's keeping it pretty tight. Nio's a little all over the place. They generally have both the right trend. Operating income multiple, yep, Nio, zero times, because they are not yet profitable. However, Tesla coming out swinging, they are really turning into a profitability machine. And you'll see their quarters when they weren't profitable, but they're really swinging it around and they are bringing it higher. All right, to kind of finish this episode up, let's just look at the share price for Tesla over the last year. We're at $66 about a year ago, $65 if you want to call it that, and we had the real rise before the economic collapse where a lot of Tesla's business was getting recognized, and it got up to like $175 a share or so, and then dropped down to 86 during the collapse. And we've just been on a tear since. Tesla has gone up not 10x since the bottom there, but 10x in the last year and a half or so. And it's been crazy. Now they've got above $500 again, 589% since exactly 1 year ago. And now I just want to take a look at Nio. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you look at it. 2,387% from 1 year ago. And what have they really done? Sure, they've kind of justified that they will be in existence in the future, and I think they'll be a totally strong company going forward. But to turn from a $1, $2, or $3 stock into what is now a $50 stock, 48 pretty much, I'm not sure. I think Nio may be about to plateau because of how much of a run they've had, unless this really turns into the ultimate hype stock. I do think they have a lot going for them. I just think Tesla remains the better buy at this point. I'm sure Nio will continue to perform. I think they will keep beating estimates as long as they continue to grow. At some point, you have to wonder if their valuation is completely justified, or if they will ever be due for a reckoning, or if this really is the EV revolution taking place and Nio will never come down from its stratospheric valuation. So, I mean, that is totally possible. They were down at $3, $1.50, and now they've come up to $50 a share. It's just a really incredible story, starting IPO at probably $6 or $7 to come up all the way to 50 and not even be profitable at that point. I think that's really is a testament to the strength of the EV story in general. if I'm being totally honest, I think Nio will be a good long-term play. I just think they're more dangerous than Tesla is at this point. And just so you know, I was going to talk about Lee and Xpeng and the other ones, but what's really ironic, everyone is chasing those companies because they're hoping they will be the next Nio. You shouldn't be chasing a company. You should be getting the company that's actually doing the work, and that's just my opinion, but hype stocks traditionally do not turn out well unless there is a reason for that hype. And sure, the EV revolution is definitely a reason for that hype, but I continue to put my money into the companies that I believe will be dominant in the future, and that is Tesla and Palantir, and Tesla is just getting started. And that's what most people need to come to understand, that there is so much more for Tesla to do. They haven't even solved autonomy yet. It's coming. They're going to ramp up to 20 million cars a year. That's 40 times away from what they're doing this year. There's just so much growth potential left for Tesla, and I just want everyone to realize that. Sure, I have no doubt Nio will continue to do well, and I look forward to their success, but for now, in the EV space, I'm all in on Tesla stock. I'll keep you updated if I ever take a future holding in Nio stock. Until next time, peace.